Welcome back to White Knuckle. If you type hands mobile into the console, it'll bring your hands closer together, and if you just keep going, they'll pass each other. So that's gonna be our run today. We're doing switched hands. The same mouse button still controls the same hands. I only tested this for about 5 seconds, and so far, muscle memory seems like it's doing most of the work, but I think when we get something a little bit more difficult, have to use a little bit of items, then I think we're gonna have a problem. But other than that, today's gonna be a nice chill little hangout video. Oh, that is weird with the hammer. It's gonna be a nice chill little hangout video. Gonna be chatting, playing some Knuckle. Today's topic is gonna be fixing your own car. Oh yeah, also somebody in the comments let me know you can hold down the focus mode button and then hold down the grab and it'll snatch stuff, because I was having some trouble doing that in the last one. I think I accidentally killed Delta Dan because of the click spamming, so thank you to that commenter. Fixing your own car. I think that it's a good way to save money on a very basic level. The other day my car died. The alternator was making some weird noises. I didn't know it was the alternator at the time, but it was making some kind of funky noises. And then, as I was getting home, like a block from my house, the frickin' lights came on, like the battery light and the ABS light, and the power steering died. So I was absolutely cranking the steering wheel in order to survive. It wasn't actually as hard as I thought it would be, because I'd heard that, like, oh my god, if power steering goes out, you're cooked. And granted, I wasn't on the freeway, so I was okay. But, you know, parked it, then it wouldn't restart, so I'm like, okay, it happened when I was driving, so let me Google some things. That's the really funny thing about fixing your own car, is like, I'm sort of a car guy, but I'm not really a car guy. Like, I just know how to Google stuff well. Let's see what we got. Hell yeah. I probably should have tried the new whatever perk that is, but I didn't. Okay, we're gonna get our blink eye in case we get the secret room. This inventory management is getting a little bit weird now. Yeah, I'm not a car guy. Like, I don't actually like cars. I drive a Toyota Corolla. It's a fantastic car. It gets me where I need to go. But as I talked about in another video, I love me some trains. I would rather not have a car at all. So I don't like cars. I don't like expensive cars. You know, if you want to spend your money on that, you can, but it just doesn't really bring me joy, so I don't do it. You know, I don't mod my car either. I know some guys are super into making them loud, which I think is pretty annoying. Or they'll make them... I knew a guy who modded his car so that the exhaust could, like, spit fire when he pressed a button. He had, like, a little control button box inside the car. It was super ridiculous, but it was kind of funny. But I don't do that kind of stuff. Like, my car is very much a tool. I drive a nice, affordable car. But the Corolla is super easy to self-service. Like, not sponsored. But it just is very convenient. So when I had to replace my spark plugs and my coils, because the car died on me, and that's, you know, then I had somebody teach me, and that's kind of how I got into fixing it myself. And then when my sister's car had the same thing happen, I was like, huh, no problem. I got you. I'll help you fix it. Yeah, that car was completely different. I had no idea what I was doing. Like, I thought, like, oh, this will take half an hour tops, and frankly, even that is pushing it. But yeah, in that car, the engine is like upside down. We had to disassemble the whole thing. It took 2 weeks. It was an absolute nightmare. But you know, basic stuff like that in the Corolla, you just open it up and ooh, now I'm getting stuck with the hand. You just open it up and it's all right there. It's like Legos. All the parts fit together. And so when I mentioned to people the car broke down, they're like, oh, so you had to take it in. And I was like, no, I fixed it myself. You know, I Googled what it could be, and then I made some educated guesses, and then I ordered parts. Oh, I can't afford the pull circuit. Why did I start with 0 roaches? Oh no, I spent my roaches. I was a fool. I spent my roaches on this blink eye. Oh well. So, you know, I ordered the parts. Like most people said, it was either going to be the battery or the alternator, and since it was making a weird noise when I was driving, and it died while I was driving. I'm like, I think it's the alternator. Wow, these... I guess I'll just take back strengtheners. These are some Garbo perks. Okay, this is gonna be funky. I need to let the muscle memory take me up here. Oh no. Well, I fumbled the bag. Oh, I don't think I can get up there without any items. Damn it! Oh, that means I can't even... Okay, this disposal chute is gonna be rough. Yeah, I think I psyched myself out there. Because sometimes I also just miss. Okay. Now I gotta lock in. I gotta take a break from talking about cars. Let's see. Okay, we're doing okay. Conditioned polyphagia is carrying a little bit. But anyway, I'm not a car guy. Like, I don't really know stuff until I've looked it up. I'm good at doing research. And I don't particularly like cars as a hobby. But you save money by fixing your own car. Some of this real basic stuff. And if something's more complicated, I'll take it in. And it's a little bit crazy to me that some people just decide, like, cars are not a thing that they can do. You know, it seems mental. It seems like they say, oh, I'm not a person who can fix cars. And I think that's really unfortunate. When I was in high school, my high school had, like, an auto shop class. But it was... The culture is that you took that class if you weren't, dare I say, smart enough to go to college. That was kind of the culture at my school, was, oh, if you're not smart enough to go to college, you are going to take auto body. Which is ridiculous in so many ways. Like, first of all, book smart doesn't necessarily mean, you know, doesn't necessarily mean smart. It's not the only kind of smart. I was like, ooh, now I'm getting my hands confused. I was super book smart, but like, I do not value that as much as most people. I was really good at taking like multiple choice tests. So I actually didn't even learn how to study when I was in school, which later was weird. It was like, what? People were like, oh, you want to go to the library and study? And then they actually wanted to study, and I'm like, I literally don't know what we're doing here. Okay, this is actually going to be the roughest run ever, not even because this challenge is hard, but because I got the worst items possible. Okay. We're making it work. Let's see how rough Tifa is. It's time for a midway movie review, but I kind of want to keep talking about car stuff a little bit. My point is, I think people decide that a thing is not something they can do without actually trying it. And, you know, some of the basic stuff, you can just save a lot of money. Like, if you go to get your oil changed, I do pay someone to change my oil, because I would have to dispose of the oil properly, which I'd have to pay a hazmat fee to do anyway, so I might as well just pay somebody else to do the whole thing. And I go to one of the drive-through places. Not sponsored, but I used to go to Jiffy Lube, and then these jackasses like sprayed the oil all over themselves on accident, and I'm just sitting there in the car watching them. And oh my god, I was like, yeah, this is extra entertainment that I'm getting with my oil change, so I kind of like it, but I don't know if I trust them not to fuck up my car. So I start going to Valvoline after that. Yeah, so I pay them to do that. But sometimes, you know, they check your air filters and they'll be like, oh, your air filter's dirty. Do you want us to replace it? It's only $50. But the thing is, an air filter costs $15 and it takes under 60 seconds to switch it. Like, it doesn't even require tools. I could film a speed run of it, and I legitimately believe I could do air filter percent in under 60 seconds. And so in that case, it's just kind of a straight up scam. And I don't think that's right. Okay, we're at our haunted pier. I think it's time for the midway movie review, because I had a midway movie review planned for a movie I want to talk about. So it's called The Brothers Bloom. Funny history of me watching this movie. The first time I watched it was way back in the day when Netflix came in the mail, kids. Got confused on which button to press there, but we made it. Back when Netflix came in the... Oh, no. Back when Netflix came in the mail, I watched The Brothers Bloom. Now, I thought I was watching The Blues Brothers, and it took me a while to figure out it wasn't The Blues Brothers, because the two guys, Mark Ruffalo and Adrian Brody, do in fact wear black suits in a lot of the movie. So, that was very silly. But it turns out it wasn't the Blues Brothers. And then I watched it. It's this adventure comedy. They're con men. They try to con Rachel Weisz. She's from The Mummy with Brendan Fraser. She does a great job in that movie. She plays a character who was like, she's like a rich girl who was super isolated. Ooh, turrets. She was super isolated because they thought she was like allergic to everything when she was growing up, so she didn't leave the house until she was like 19. Ooh, hard mode hands. She didn't leave the house until she was like 19. And so her character is really weird in a way that is really embodied and just grounded. Like, it's very funny, but it doesn't come across as a caricature. And her vocal work is just fantastic. She does a great job. Oh no. Oh, this is so weird. It looks like my flare's gonna miss, but I just gotta trust it. So, fantastic movie, but I thought it was the Blues Brothers, and then I watched it. I enjoyed it a lot. And then, years later, I just watched it the other day, I was trying to find it, and I thought it was called The Brothers Bluth. So I'm looking up The Brothers Bluth, and as much as Google's investing in the AI, it just cannot figure out that I'm mistyping the word. And I think there's a filmmaker... Oh, no. Oh. Okay. Let's just, which hand am I using? Oh, no. Whew. Okay. We lived. Oh, this is so weird. I'm pressing the wrong drop buttons. So, it thought that I was looking for a filmmaker whose last name is Bluth. I think it's like David Bluth or something. But he does not have a brother. So it took us a while. But it's called The Brothers Bloom. And I mentioned this story of me not being able to find it to somebody else who's like, no, The Brothers Bluth is from Arrested Development. I'm like, oh yeah. So, I eventually managed to rewatch this movie. I didn't remember that much about it, but it's very funny. Very stylized. Like, you can't tell what time period it's in. And it turns out that is intentional. Like, it seems like it's in the 20s. Because they're wearing suits, going to speakeasies, and taking a steamer ship. But then, like, C4 and cell phones and Lamborghinis are a thing. So, it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. I enjoyed it a lot. And like I said, Rachel Weisz, fantastic acting in that movie. Alright, coming up on our Abyss. Do I want to get back to talking about cars? I guess I will. So anyway, what I was saying about cars. I think that some things, like people charging you $50 to replace a $15 part in under 1 minute, I just think that's a scam. And so I'm curious, y'all mechanics in the crowd, what you think about. Personally, you know, I think that you can obviously make an argument your time is valuable, but if it doesn't take that much time, like, is there an additional opportunity cost that I'm not aware of that would mean you gotta charge? Because as a fight choreographer, that's my main thing in the real world. Funny enough, I make fake sword fights in the real world. Yeah, just Garbo items. Alright, here we go. Yeah, in the real world, like, even a simple fight, I charge for my time. So sometimes I'll get paid what I think is... what feels like a little much emotionally, but realistically is not. And frankly, making a living as an artist is super hard. And so, you know, I respect mechanics. I think mechanics are really important. And like, when my wheel bearing went out, I took that to the mechanic. I paid him a couple $100. I wasn't about to screw with that. That's one of the things I've decided is not something that I'm gonna mess with. Just like other people decide their spark plugs aren't something they're gonna mess with. But, you know, what is it about changing those things? Although I'm not even sure if like a legit mechanic is gonna change your engine air filter for it, because I don't know if the guys at the drive-by oil change place are the same caliber. I may have just insulted a bunch of people, but it doesn't seem like, you know, they don't do the more intense stuff there. Maybe it's a stepping stone in that career. I don't really know. I don't know how the mechanic career works. I know it's a good job that makes good money. I was watching a play the other day, Strange Snow. It's about these Vietnam vets, and great show. But one of them is like dissing the other guy because his sister starts crushing on the guy, and you know he doesn't want them to be a thing. So he's like, "What? He's a lowlife. He's a mechanic." It's like, dude, he owns his own mechanic shop. Like, he's a small business owner, and that's a good job. What the hell are you talking about? Wild to me. It's like how the teacher in school, speaking of people overvaluing book smarts, the teacher in school, you know, told you if you didn't go to college, you would be, you know, you'd be a garbage man. Turns out the garbage man has, like, one of the best unions on planet Earth. God, this looks so weird with the reversed hands. Functionally, this turned out to be okay. Oh yeah, I have overwhelmed. Forgot about that again. Classic. Those are my classic bits. The midway movie review, touch the whale for good luck, and forget we have overwhelmed until halfway through a bit. Oh, it's so silly. I don't know. For the record, I was book smart, and I don't think that turned out to be as valuable as people were telling me. There was a time where I thought that was the most important thing on earth. I ended up dropping out of college twice, and now I'm an artist. So, life is a series of strange things. Touch the whale for good luck. Still gonna do it. Okay, let's get our little rocket rebar. See how jank it looks. Oh, nice. We got the spire. Get another injector. I think I used all of them. I'm honestly really curious what the speed on this run is going to be, since I got absolutely garbage items and absolutely garbage perks. Ah, and no injector. Oh, goodness, there's the faces. Guess somebody knows I'm going slow. Oof. Okay. I didn't put that away. Okay, it turned out that muscle memory actually carried this run. This was not too hard at all, but you know, I think it's fun to do a nice silly one. I'm loving making these videos and enjoying the process of shooting them, editing, making the thumbnails. 20 minutes. Okay, so that is like the same speed as my last video where I used the secret perk. That's so funny. Alrighty. Thank you very much for watching. Use your damn turn signal, and I'll see you next time.